What's going on, everybody? We back for a little bit of Blurred Brunch, hallelujah. And I am here with none other than obviously myself, hallelujah. What's going on? It's me. And we've got Omar. Hey, what's up, Omar? We also have Nolly back with the Fabian on fleek, hallelujah. Yes, sir. We got the homie Yaz is sticking around. And of course, Tiffy Starchild is in the building.
Do the double wave. There it is. There it is.
Oh,
There it
hey.
is.
Tiffy, you look slightly different, but still just as beautiful. What's
It's a new
going on?
camera.
So Tiffy,
It's the wig for me.
Tiffy, we love your most recent villain PR. What's your next project? What you got popping? What's next on the docket? Jesus, take the wheel, cause I don't know. I swear I'm this close. All right, I don't want to. It's too much. Oh, wait a minute. Who's that? That's not. Hey, you were fooling us. You're not kidding me. Gosh darn it. Who will introduce this fine specimen?
This is my big brother. This is my brother Michael.
Hey,
my
Michael.
brother. I just love him so much.
Can't even see him anymore now.
I just love him.
I can't breathe.
Michael, thank you for help.
Oh, wait a
It's my
minute.
big brother. A lot of my humor and everything like literally comes from him. I like to joke that I just took it to the internet and I get paid for it, and it's so great and like it's so awesome.
Wow. Well, we see the resemblance, and
Yeah, seriously.
the humor is definitely there, man. Yo, Michael, you said right?
Michael.
Thanks for pulling up, homeboy. So, yo, pull up a chair and keep the wig lit, bro. Because we
Oh,
don't
no,
have
this
to
is hot. I don't know how she does this. Come on.
you just I know the answer, but please tell me that you actually have your own Sailor Moon sweatshirt that you're wearing right now. Like we didn't even have to ask sis.
This just kind of all happened. Like, I came over to see my sister, and she's like, "Oh, I'm like, let's pop in."
Yeah. So
he had the idea for the joke. He was like, run upstairs, change after trying to throw it back downstairs, give me a wig. So I had to go put on this one because this is the one I was wearing earlier. So I had to take this off, throw it downstairs for him.
Yo, Michael, did Tiffy get on your nerves when y'all were growing up?
Oh, she's still on my nerves to this day. To this day.
Well, I mean, but she probably deserves to get on your nerves now since she was the one hiding her Little Mermaid VHS and all that shit, homeboy.
Right, my Little Mermaid VHS that you hid from me.
We were just talking about that the other day with the kids about how.
Why are you doing that?
Why?
Yes.
You ever watch Little Mermaid nonstop, like over and over again, over and over again? Like
that sounds like so
the
much
only
fun.
break was how long it takes to rewind. That's it.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to play Street Fighter. What the hell?
Like, hey, can we just go back to Kiss the Girl? Can we just go back there and play from? Can we just because that's when it gets good? Like, no, we got to start from the beginning. Opening credits.
Yo, did you put her on to like the Transformers and the Marvel, like and all that? Was she the Disney person? Like, what was it like growing up with Tiffy?
She was a Disney person from the start. What I take credit for with like putting Tiffy on is the video games. So like Resident Evil. Like there was a moment when she saw Resident. I never forget it. We were at a GameStop and they had Resident Evil on a PlayStation, and I owned a PlayStation at the time, and I could just kind of see her just fall in love with this game, and so I had to buy it. Right. So that's what kind of triggered that. We played a lot of Street Fighter growing up. And yes, I did hit the reset button. Or volleyball trying to beat me. If she got close. I don't even know how that. We have to start over. My bad.
Close.
Every time. I couldn't let her.
Evil, Street Fighter. Yeah. And did she get you to watch the Disney stuff, or was you against it? Was you like, God damn it, I'm trying to watch the Silverhawks. What is this bullshit ass Aladdin you got to watch?
We watched a lot of together the Disney after school stuff. So a lot of Chip and Dale, a lot of the Darkwing Duck, Goof. Yeah. Oh, that's who's the rich guy? He was Scrooge. Yeah, we tried to. Yeah, we dove on the floor a few times. We tried to swim.
I remember that.
He
used to roll me up in the carpet like a burrito. Yeah, and then he would leave me to struggle.
Yeah. Oh, no. It was quiet. It was quiet for 3 or 4 minutes. That's all I
knew. Nah, bro.
It was not 3 or 4 minutes. It was not. It was a very long time.
Okay, I don't mean to spark any more civil rivalry that already exists, but you have to help us clear this up. So, is the best, what in your mind,
Mm.
big bro, is the best after school Disney theme song?
Oh,
All right, now we know what Tiffy's is, but maybe you know what it is too. But in your mind, let me give you a few
Bears,
options.
they would
Not
drink
limited
gummy
to. We
bear
got
juice.
DuckTales,
you're
DuckTales,
gummy
Chip and
bears?
Dale Retro Rangers, Tailspin.
I had to think about
Darkwing
the
Duck.
song.
Come on, give it to us,
You know
homeboy.
what?
Bears,
Let
gummy
me explain why it's
bears,
let me explain why it's Darkwing Duck.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's a key change.
All right, when there's trouble, call DW. There's a key change. Is there a key change in Darkwing Duck?
Talk to
Darkwing
him.
Duck.
Is there a
I
key
don't know
change?
if there's a
Or was
Darkwing
that Chip and Dale?
but-
Chip and
Chip
Dale.
and Dale has a key change. Gummy Bears has a key change.
Goof Troop.
And Goof Troop has a good key change. If that's the criteria, I think Darkwing Duck doesn't have a key change.
I don't think so.
I mean, there's a part where it just gets deeper when like the audience comes in, the refrain where like when there's trouble, that's the only part where it
That's
gets
not a
deeper.
key change.
It's not a
though.
key change though.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was a single dad. You got to give
And
him
nobody
his
else
props.
got dangerous.
Hey, thank you,
Anybody else
thank you, thank you, thank you. Riding the whip down the fucking cables of a water tower bridge, man. Come on, in moonlight.
Can
Come
you get me
on.
a hair tie?
With the
him.
fedora.
Yes.
not the ponytail. All right, buddy. All right, Michael, man. Don't be a stranger, man. Appreciate you this guest appearance.
All right, you guys.
I was here, man. Come on back whenever you want
See
to.
you
He's giving me Jimmy Fly Snooker vibes a little
Yeah,
bit. I ain't gonna- it's giving
How
me
did you turn into a Samoan linebacker all of a sudden? I was like,
it's definitely. What was Troy Palomano?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
man.
love me
Yo,
some
that was a
Vince.
dope. Give it up for the cameo. The Star Child family, the House of Star Child
House of
is
Star
not
Child.
no bullshit. What's going on, man? Yo,
Andy Rose. I was just told that I'm taking on his wife she wants to make content. I was like, yes.
pull up, man. That's what we all about, man. That's what we all about. We didn't get a chance. Well, I ain't gonna lie, that was refreshing as hell. But there was a small moment where I was like, "Uh-oh, did Timmy come on the camera too early? Like, is he
the makeup-
unfair?
I was like, the
Is this
makeup
old
is
time and she been
incredible.
painting over her mustache? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how is this happening right now?
This is
So-
the real me.
I have Sailor Moon, Sailor Venus, and Sailor Mars bikinis at my big age. I don't give a shit. I love them. They're so cute. They got the little bow and the gem, and I'll be feeling so cute in those. Anyway, I thought because you got your sweatshirt. Anyway, I'll share.
Yeah, I like how I had another Sailor Moon themed one.
ready.
She
And
was
I
ready.
have all the scouts. So if it had been just me pulling out another sweatshirt.
Well, that kind of leads me into one of the first things that I wanted to holler at y'all about, because we were talking briefly about yes,
My man
we're
just,
back to
my man
round.
just out here.
Come on. Let's go.
Every time. This is mom life, y'all. This is raw and uncut. Okay, we got the handyman trying to come to fix things, and I'm like, you need to warn me because my son likes to be free.
Whoa, this is what you call
Oh,
being your
God.
authentic self. Just in case anybody was wondering.
He said it's hot.
We
Yeah.
It is. They said
simply-
it's gonna be in the hundreds today, and I said, do we have to have the party today? Can it be another day? Because it's too hot to go outside.
Why does the party have to be outside?
It's not outside, but I have to go outside to the car to get, and then go outside again from the car to the house, and that's a lot. I'm a big girl, you
That's a
know,
lot.
and sometimes I be sweating, and it's just not attractive.
You
I
need one
don't
of them.
feel like the floral, pretty princess that I am meant to be.
A floral pretty
You
princess.
need one of them at the airport, how they got the port that goes from the gate to the
To
actual
the-
Yes,
the
please.
car. Yeah, you can
you
use
can
one of those, man. But since we were talking briefly about you guys' love for Sailor Moon, which I feel a little guilty because I mean I don't want to sound sexist, but I don't know if a lot of men watch that show. Omar, did you peep Sailor Moon?
6 o'clock in the morning before school. It came out. It was
Period.
Sailor Moon.
Oh,
and
it was-
the Marvel Power Hour, or whatever. Where it was like Iron Man and Fantastic Four, or like the Hulk.
Oh wow, okay, so it was on voluntarily. You were
Yeah.
watching?
Yeah.
I don't want to say. I'm saying, I know how bad I'm making myself look by saying
He's
these
like,
things.
oh, I was sexist, but I'm about to sound sexist right now. Just don't say the butt. Just don't say there's the butt.
No.
Say the quiet part out loud.
No, yeah. I sound like a complete sexist asshole. I apologize. I got to get out of that mindset. But I am curious as to like Sailor Moon, and at one point in time there was this pitch to do a grown up Powerpuff Girls. Did y'all see that?
Yeah,
That
I
they were
remember.
trying to do
I'm so glad
a
that shit
live,
got canceled.
a live action Powerpuff Girls. Um, there's now we just talked about it in the last segment. There's live action One Piece that is on
Yep.
the docket. We also have the live action Last Airbender, which is going to make its way pretty soon. Would we be able to do a live action Sailor Moon, Tiffy?
There's been live
There's
action.
been live action.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There's
Oh yeah,
been a
yeah.
stage
Sam, have you?
show.
Oh yeah. There's stage plays, TV show. Yeah.
Mhm.
It is
Now,
TV show.
yeah. Yeah.
American or Japanese?
Japanese.
I would choose no
Oh,
one else to do
Um,
it.
there is a terrible American one. We don't talk about that. That's deep Salem lore.
we don't talk
Um, and so you have to find clips on the internet. I don't know if a clean version of it exists. I'm
Whoa,
not
whoa! Time out. Clean as in like vulgar?
clean as
Or...
no. Clean
Not
as in like
grainy.
not grainy because
Oh,
this
okay,
has
okay.
been out for quite some
Oh.
time.
Oh, I
So
thought you
yeah,
meant like
it's quite old. But as far as like a new live action one, yeah, I would love that.
I would.
I would take that, or I would even take one. When I say animated in the style of Across the Spider-Verse, I don't mean all of the shifting art styles because, like, in the style of Spider-Verse, that is not specific at all. But I just mean in terms of like what they can do with that sort of like CGI animation, I think would really benefit Sailor Moon. Just all of her powers and all of her powers being like sparkly and beautiful and prismatic. Like imagine them animating that shit and how gorgeous it would look. I don't know if I would want to necessarily see that CGI over live action rather than just have the whole thing be animated. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that would be such a vibe. And everything, especially that like late 80s, early 90s pastel city aesthetic that was really popular in Sailor Moon. Like if you look a lot of at the backgrounds and the backdrops of Sailor Moon, like it all has that aesthetic. And when I look at it, that has shaped so much of like what I like to see around me, the things that I like now. It's so perfect. So like, yeah, I feel like they am recreating that now in some way, shape, and form. I know we're getting a lot of Sailor Moon, like they have Sailor Moon Crystal, and the movie just released in Japan, and so it's going to be coming out here shortly, all animated still. But if we were to get live action things and they were to just take it there, it would be so fucking dope. I am 100% on board.
Are we sure that it would be dope? Because my theory, Tiffy, and please correct me if I'm wrong, anybody,
I will.
is that nobody has yes. I know Tiffy will. That's been some of the best content actually. But some of the people have requested live action shows from the anime, and once they're produced, they trash it. I have yet to see any live action adaptation of any anime show or movie that has been worthy of the fandom that the anime generated. You think that Sailor Moon could be the exception?
If Netflix don't touch it.
I think it depends on who produces it. You know, have they been trashing the projects or have the projects been trash? Because I think that's a very important distinction. Why would they get behind something that's not good? And in a lot of cases, these projects have not been good. So if it doesn't serve the franchise or the IP to make it live action, if you can't tell that story in a better way, I say leave the story alone. And that's why I'm for live action. I'm not just like against them. If you can tell this story in a newer, interesting way, that's perfect. And in the case of Disney, that was always their deal. Like, when you work at Disneyland, you get indoctrinated and all to the things that Walt used to say and do, the Walt Bible and all that. But that was kind of like the credo of Disney. We're innovative. We're storytellers. How can we tell this story? So I don't mind live action in that sense. But if we take a look at what's happening with the art direction and the vision forward, and it's not telling this story in a way that serves, that improves upon it, let's leave it the hell alone. Like before it even makes it out the gate. So I find a lot of value in animation. And I think that I like animation, and cartoons are very important to me. So if Sailor Moon never became like a modern live action, that's okay. Like I I would support it. I think it would have support if it was done well. But if it's crappy, then yeah, people are not going to like it.
Well, because look at what happened. Well, first of all, I want to hear more. So please don't let me forget this. But I want to hear more about what I missed out on Sailor Moon, so I can determine whether or not it's worth reading. Okay, all right, Nolly. Okay, all right. My bad. I didn't.
Turn it on. Period.
I already got to catch up on Last Airbender.
I expect a full report next week.
I need more time next week. But my question is, like, we've learned in some instances that sometimes the live action is not produced as much as look at TMNT right now. They gave it to Michael Bay. He put out 2 movies.
That was the problem. They gave it to Michael Bay.
Yeah.
And then now it's flourishing as an animated series, in which this upcoming year we'll have part 2. I'm hoping that we at some point get the Ronin series.
What about are you gonna ignore the movie? The movie was a success, wasn't it? The
original
from
movie?
the 90s, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna ignore that. I loved the original movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if we had the capacity at that time to hate anything live action, because we just wanted we wanted everything. Now we have selections, we have options, we have good and bad. I'll ask y'all this before Tiffy and Nolly can give us the reasons why anybody who hasn't watched Sailor Moon should, and what it's really about. But like, what can we put on the record that we'll stand behind in terms of being a good anime live action? Like, what will y'all stand behind? Is there anything? I know I have a couple, but I'm waiting to hear if anybody here has a favorite live action anime adaptation.
I don't think so. I mean, I saw the trailer for the Rurouni Kenshin one looked okay, but that was on Netflix. But I'm like,
that was good.
I say that, but I'm like, I didn't watch it. I didn't make the time for it. So,
I mean, I got a couple that I got a couple. Shinobi. I thought
Shinobi was a live action.
Yeah, it was.
It was good.
Yeah, it was. It's like these are so the ones that I'm gonna say are probably under the radar because they're older. But Fist of the North Star.
Hold on, wait.
What?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm sorry. Hold on, wait.
There's a live action version of this that's not from the 80s.
Well, it's not the 80s. No, I think it's in the 90s. But yeah, there's Fist of the North Star. There's Shinobi. Like I said, you can look up Shinobi right now, and you'll be able to find it. But it's I think a lot of times what happens is if you get a good live anime, it's not done in Hollywood. It's usually done in the other countries and stuff like that. So you typically get that in those regards. So I haven't really thought about the live action version of anything in the US that kind of stood out, because everything was kind of subpar at best.
Yeah, because Death Note was horrendous.
It wasn't an anime, but I mean, Street Fighter is more of a video game. They made an anime of it or whatever. But the best one I've seen of that was it was Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, and it looked at Ken and Ryu studying under Goiken, their master, and like it was just like a whole fan thing. But like that shit looked amazing. It looked like it was amazing. And this was only this thing's maybe like 6 years old, 7 years old again, and it's on YouTube. And I'm like, so like sometimes you get something where it's done in a fan sense. It was like, that shit, like, how are you doing this shit better than, like, how have you nailed it better than Hollywood has nailed it? And almost like, it also like, it's not an anime, but like video games are very hard to adapt for live action as well. But I'm like, oh my God, damn, like, this is a great angle.
Fan made. Fans have better passion than Hollywood. Hollywood is money. Fans, they want the right story. Like, if you had a group of fans in a writing room, we would have had a way better Resident Evil movie series, hands down. 10 out of 10. Because who the fuck is Alice? Thank you. Like, who the fuck is Alice? Shit.
Random
like, shit like that doesn't need to be changed. This shit is great. Like, look at how good Last of Us came out.
Yes. And I think because the people that wrote the game, even though the guy who designed it the game wasn't necessarily included. The people who wrote the game were actually involved, and they was like, "Nah, we're not playing that, but we're not gonna let y'all fuck this shit up." You know what I'm saying? Live action movies for video games have been better than live action movies and shows for anime.
Yes.
And I
Which
hate
is not
that.
saying a lot.
It's a problem. I mean, you could go back. Look, first of all, I'd like to go around the whole. Oh my god, the horn.
Man, you've been on fire today, haven't
First
you,
of
brother?
all-
You gotta go around the horn.
To go around the hole. I'll tell you what.
Maybe
I make a couple trips around the.
Maybe you want to eat it.
I make a couple trips around the watering hole before I go in the watering hole. I'll tell you that right now.
All right.
You've been
I
doing a
sucked
lot.
it down. I ate it, and now I'm around the hole. I got it. All right. You don't have to worry. Been having some real freaky dreams. But like, what are our favorite animes? Period. Like, I'm pretty sure that Tiffy would probably at least keep Sailor Moon at the top of that list, if not at the top. But just in terms of in general movies and shows, I'll go first. I happen to think, for me, I was a huge Inuyasha fan. I don't know if we're going to include Boondocks, because I think Boondocks is key, but I don't know if on terms of like anime, if we put it in the category of like, Ghost in the Shell, Demon Slayer, stuff like that. But I gotta say, and I know I'm alone on this island, and I don't expect anybody to agree with me, but not this current version, not the updated version, but the old school JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, before it was like modernized and brought up to speed. Like, that shit was like monumentally ridiculous, with freaking Jotaro and Dio and everybody fighting with their stands. Like, that shit was life changing, and I watched this shit on VHS. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you had, and like, when you had to like put the tracking and shit, like hold on, man, put the tracking right. You know what I'm saying? And all that, like, those was dope to me. There's also this movie called Ninja Scroll. I don't know if anybody here ever watched, but I've been begging for Hollywood or somebody to like put that in some live action form. Because Jubei, that motherfucker was a bad motherfucker right there, bro. And the storylines they got, there's a girl in Ninja Scroll. Where's my daughter? Am I safe? All right. She's got like the vagina of death. Like that's her superpower. Like if you intercourse with her, then you die. And that's her superpower. You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny.
They have a superpower like that.
It's Japanese, man.
I don't know.
You gotta let them niggas rock. They just, that's what they, it's weird.
It's a whole crazy thing, man. What about y'all? I mean, do y'all have favorites that you just cannot get out of your mind, that you wish you would see either brought up to speed or maybe even made into live action? I won't pose it to anybody. Just anybody speak on that.
I think when I think of favorite anime, I'm thinking of maybe because I like the story of Demon Slayer and things like that. But for me, it's hard because I have to separate, because like I know everyone would rock with it, but I think it might be Hajime no Ippo, which is a boxing. It's not many motherfuckers know about that. Especially I've been reading the manga. I found out about it in 2009. So I think that's an easier one to adapt as well. I mean, it's boxing. You can just superimpose it, and you can make. Apparently, I still haven't seen Creed 3, but I know they took a lot of influence from Hajime no Ippo, as well as another boxing anime. So I think of that as I think that I wouldn't mind seeing that one as a live action.
Okay. Yeah, because that gives me little. I've already told you like that. It feels like Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah. Yes.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yes.
But I would be here to see that. Tiffy, Sailor Moon is the only thing. Tiffy, Nolly, the only ones that y'all would say, look, bring this alive. Is there anything else in your anime memory bank that you would like to see kind of brought to mainstream currently?
I've always been a fan of Ouran High School Host Club.
Yeah,
it's just cute and I don't know, it's a vibe. I would love to see that live action. I just want a season 2 for that one, actually. Sweetness and Lightning is another one that I like. It's just a cute slice of life style. I like slice of life anime. That one, that one's an anime as well. I wanted better from Way of the House Husband. I didn't like when Netflix did that one and when they made it, because it was literally just panels from the manga, and they would like, I don't know. It was I don't want to say lazy, because I respect all artists.
Different.
It was very different. It wasn't very animated. I've already read the manga. I didn't need to read the manga on screen again, like literal panels. So, and I want to see the Rurouni Kenshin one because I was a big fan of that back in the day. So definitely want to give that a shot.
Yeah, Rurouni. Ty, you saw that. You said it was phenomenal.
I didn't say it was.
I
don't think I said phenomenal. I think I did spot like that the choreography and the fight scenes were definitely on par. And you have to understand that it's 3 movies, I believe. It's 3 movies, and I don't remember which one in particular. There's one where there's a scene where they they have like a sword fight with like I want to say like 600 people. It's so crazy, and it is like, but it looks so good. But anytime I look at something like that is martial arts, I'm always going to be the one that spotlights the martial arts. I mean, I want to see the people that I want to make sure that they're using real martial artists, and, stuff like that. That stuff matters. So yeah, it was good. And I think anybody who watches it is going to enjoy it. But I think the problem is social media, and the problem is social media and the fact that everybody has a voice now. Like it makes like when you bring up like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that good, or was it because we didn't have social media and everybody could really tell you how terrible the movie was? So it's like with this, you're never, as a director, you're never going to be able to get it right, because there's always going to be a group that feels like you missed something, or you didn't do something, or you didn't. But
hold on now, I don't see much. I mean, you'd have to go very long, far, and look deep and wide to find criticism about Across the Spider-Verse. Like that movie that for 2 times now is given almost damn near perfection by way of critics and audience members. So there's, proof that, even with the internet, if a good project is a good project.
I think you missed what I said. You're never going to be able to get it perfect or get it right. Like you can do something that's really good, and there's going to be people that appreciate what you did, but there's going to be a small percentage or a large percentage, depending on what it is, that is always going to have an issue. There's always, like, they just wake up with an issue. It doesn't matter. It's like, oh shit, well, he didn't, this wasn't, and not it, it's always going to be there. So what, as far as, but I'm going on a tangent. I basically, the ones that I watch is Baki. I know a lot of people don't really watch Baki, but Baki is fucking awesome. If you ever watch Baki, yo, bro, a live action version of Baki Hana, woo! I'm talking about you're in the Baki storyline, you're getting the best fighters from everywhere around the world, the best ever fighters. Like, and we're not talking. So the competition between fighters is phenomenal. You're talking about technique, styles. You get there's a style, a Mike Tyson's style. They spotlight Mike Tyson's boxing style in a martial arts. Yo, I'm serious. It's called the Tyson style, and it's like one of the most dangerous and most ferocious styles ever. So it's that's one that I would love to see. And then One Punch Man. I don't know why One Punch Man. Nobody here said anything about One Punch Man. That series is phenomenal.
Fucking hilarious.
It's hilarious. Like, he's, could you imagine who to cast and who would, like, we could cast you for One Punch Man, Vince. We can have you as. You do kind of look like One Punch Man.
He does, actually.
You isolate him.
I just gotta be mad. I just gotta be sad all the time.
He looks sad all the time, and
missing out on deals with his coupons, Joe.
That reminds me of My Hero Academia live action. I would like to see.
Oh, there's that.
And this is like, in my mind, it has the biggest budget imaginable. It is a perfect project in my mind. When I say I want to see something, it is in a perfect world. Everything goes incredibly.
Oh, honestly, I feel like that would do so well with all of the. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's It's very high school dramatic. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of intermingling. Shoto Todoroki don't know. It's got pronouns. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very modern. So I could definitely see that. I hope they do well with that actually, because I can't see them ignoring that. That show hit pretty hard. Demon Slayer is the thing right now, though, right? Like, I mean, if anything, you would feel like with all of the press that's getting right now, that would also make its way on. But yeah, real quick before that, damn, she's disappearing. I was gonna say, Nolly was
It's the peacocks. They outside and they bother me.
it's the what you call them, the drag pigeons,
Drag chickens.
But you didn't like one Death Note at all. Like I actually thought that they got what's his name right, the demon.
The demon.
Yeah,
right.
The demon was on.
Yeah,
point.
that's it. That's not enough.
Your face.
What's that supposed to do for me? That's like going to Red Lobster and asking for Cheddar Bay biscuits, and they say we don't got them no more. So why am I here? That's like going to Texas Roadhouse and they'd be like, we're out of butter and rolls. Then why am I here? The math isn't there for me. I'm sorry. I'm not a mathematician, but it's not.
Beautiful mind.
I'm autistic, but not that kind of autistic. Okay.
All right,
I have a joke for that.
what? I mean, all right. I mean, I could see like when I watched Full Metal. I tried to watch Full Metal Alchemist.
It wasn't good either.
I forgot.
Bad. It was really bad. Like it was disrespectfully bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand like why that got greenlit. Honestly. But Death Note, I didn't think was as bad. But again,
I would see a Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh shoot, she got the choked out. Okay,
I'd watch that. But I like a lot of not popular animes. Trying to be different. I'm not that kind of girl.
No, speak up.
But like Elfen Lied, violent, bloody, disgusting. Would pay to see it.
My bad. I didn't mean to. She's
like, okay, I got dressed. We're not going anywhere, so now I'm naked, and you're gonna.
Yeah, but we love Man. We love Man.
That's what's happening. But also, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but there's this anime called Angelic Lair, where they build dolls, and the dolls fight each other on some Fight Club shit. That was a good one.
They fight dolls?
Okay, they build these little figures, and the figures go in this arena and battle each other. And it has some parts where it tugged on the heartstrings, okay? But also the dolls were pretty dope, okay? And then there was this other one about dolls. It's a freaky thing here. I like weird shit. Anyway, Rosen Maiden, where these dolls were made to literally fight each other to the death to prove their love to their father, their maker.
Jesus.
It's wild. Such a good one too.
Well, how much do you pay for your Crunchyroll? Shit, you got the premium.
So this was back when Crunchyroll wasn't a thing, and I had the DVDs.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's on Crunchyroll. I think season 2 is on Crunchyroll. I use my man's Crunchyroll. I don't pay for that. I pay for the other streaming services. He pays for Crunchyroll. It's an exchange.
Oh, have I introduced you to Mr. Firestick on this side, like who's got the looks on?
I do gotta text him for his address because I'm gonna get Firestick and ship it up there and then have him send it back. I'm not going to pay for some movies. Some movies we're not paying for in this house. Okay, we live in a rich white neighborhood now, and so we got to pay a rich white neighborhood rent. So therefore, I'm not trying to go to the movies all the time.
Yeah, Peacocks, we good with that. I wondering, is it pervy to watch Chainsaw Man? Because I thought that the show was dope. But then as I expressed that to other people, I learned that it made me a perv, and I don't know if that's
be your authentic self.
Own it.
Yeah. I don't feel like a it's like a character. What is pervy about liking that show other than, I mean, you're watching a show about a dude who basically does everything he can for the cop feels, I mean, I didn't know that was going to be the case. I like it because of the demons shit. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'm telling on myself. Let me shut up.
Yeah.
I just put Tiffy to sleep.
Yeah.
Rightfully
so. That I just lean forward. Let me lean. You do that every week.
My bad. I don't know. I just thought it was a thing that there was no like nobody has the we need anime movies to be done like this.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Example. Like we don't have that for real, for real. It just seems like the overwhelming majority anime that crosses into live action gets shit on. I submit to the court the last Airbender. I submit to the court Ghost in the Shell. I submit to the court what's the joint that we like? Cowboy Bebop.
I forgot about
I
it.
submit
Jesus.
to the
Not
court.
an anime, but Aeon Flux.
And
That could've been so
and
great.
that's what
That
I
could've been
was.
so
That
great.
wasn't bad. That what really
It
wasn't bad.
bad, but it could have
It could have
been.
been
Like,
better.
I feel like
to me, again, if you're not gonna tell the story better, it was different. It was different.
I think that I
The
could have.
live action version of Ghost in the Shell too wasn't terrible. It wasn't like absolutely terrible.
I
The
couldn't
one that
get past.
starred what?
Yeah, with ScarJo, I couldn't get past the moral wall of casting. Even
There's
though I'm gonna keep it real, I'm gonna say this unpopular, and I'm not saying that they should have casted her, but if you look at them side by side in terms of like their facial structures and shit, the way that she do look like the chick that they drew. I mean, I'm not saying that they should have casted her as it, but in terms of like looking like the actual drawing. ScarJo does have that ovular face, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me. Man,
I have a question. I have a question. So, what is the difference between anime and like? I wouldn't say a cartoon. Okay, so with The Hobbit, the move like the animated version of that. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but would that be considered anime though? Because that's not a cartoon.
All right. So this is a great question because I am wondering also if you all can clarify for me, because this was a debate, whether or not The Last Airbender is technically anime.
Western anime.
It's
some qualified as a Western anime because it takes
Western
influence because from the East, anime is from the East, right? So like us, their version cartoon, so it takes influence from the East. So an easier way to qualify it would be a Western anime.
Okay.
The easier way to qualify it.
So that's for which one?
The Avatar one.
The Avatar one.
Airbender. But for let's say the Hobbit. Then what year was that? What year was that made?
Like the 70s.
That was in the 70s, bro. Like it was like
you could say the same thing. Then like Astro Boy was around that time as well. So if it takes influence from the East, just say it's a Western anime. Then Western take on this strong.
If we do that, then there you go. The live action version of The Hobbit was really good.
Oh, well, see, I think of anime as a certain category, and I don't know.
That's why I just was trying to qualify. Then you gonna say, then after we qualified, then you're like, well, I don't know.
Well, I had a friend that did the exact to side, man. He had because we had it was something he'd always pinpoint, like the cartoon versus the anime. And that was a very strong. He was a very strong take on that. Like, all right, well, this style is done from here. Yeah. West, it's done this way, which makes a cartoon and whatnot. So, an Avatar being that exception was like you can clearly see the influence they've taken from the East. So why you gotta give it that Western? It's just it's not anime traditionally. All right, if we're breaking tradition, then we give it a Western anime. Then let it qualify that way. Like, all right, it's anime with influence from the East, therefore, and made on the West. Then make it a Western anime. Let it have that qualifier so it can be with its friends.
The origin of anime. Now, in my head, I have this, but I think I made this up. So I'm gonna say it out loud. So back before anime was described as anime, we used to call it Japanimation. I don't know if y'all remember. This was a long time ago.
Yeah. Technically, that makes sense.
Right, Japanimation. And so it was my assumption that Japanimation was shortened on both sides of the word to just be Japanimation, anime. The anime just came out of that. So which gives me Japanimation is anime. So if it's not done in Japan, it's not really anime. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if my thought patterns are completely.
No, you're not wrong. It was produced in outside of Japan, and in English, anime refers specifically to animation produced in Japan. However, in Japan and in Japanese, anime it's a term derived from shortening the English word of animation. and it describes all animated work. So to them, it's just slang for shortening animation for them. So that's just their style of animation.
Right.
Well, with that definition, it sounds like to me,
yeah,
The Hobbit would be under animation.
Yeah, because animation produced outside of Japan with similar style to Japanese animation is commonly referred to as anime-influenced animation.
All right. Well,
as early as 1917, this was going on. So there you go.
That's crazy. It's like, calling it chai tea. It's just chai. There's no tea. It's like you call it. So anime, if you're calling it animation, it's not animation. It's just anime, right? That's what they call it. Mm-hmm. And in Japan, they use the anime characters as sponsors for products. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's a whole crazy thing. I was out there and they got like, Hello Kitty says that you should get Right Guard. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, Hello Kitty, like what the fuck? But it is what it is. Tiffy, why should we watch Sailor Moon if we've never watched it before?
Ooh, because because Sailor Moon is just a dope ass story. Like if you're into love stories, you have that. Even though, like, as I've gotten older, looking back on the Sailor Moon story, I definitely had to turn my adult brain off. So I was like, girl, he ain't worth it. And I was like, leaving the love story.
That's a good man, Usagi.
Right. He's a good man. Savannah. Right. So there is the love story aspect, which was just, and all the dramatics that happen because of it. It starts off as a story. She's a princess on the moon who's in love with the prince of Earth, because all of Earth has just one prince in this world. And there is another person, Queen Beryl. She wasn't Queen Beryl then, but she's very jealous of it. Poisons the people of Earth to attack the moon because they would try to like sneak and see each other. Ultimately, when they're fighting the war, he is killed. She commits suicide, and her mom, in her grief, with the last of her power, her like dying breath, sends their spirits on to be reincarnated in the modern day world. In this modern day world, Princess Serenity, and I'll just use their regular English names, but our Princess Usagi, she is reborn as like a regular teenager to just experience a normal life. But then they realize that the threat that had kind of fucked them all up in the first place, that threat still exists. So she's reborn, like her memory comes back. Only in this life, the difference is that she's Sailor Moon. She wasn't Sailor Moon in her past, and that was like her biggest weakness. So in this sense, she has a chance to actually fight for herself. And the Sailor Scouts, like Sailor Venus is my favorite scout outside of Sailor Moon. And Sailor Venus is that fucking girl. She is Sailor Moon's. They're all her bodyguards, basically. But Sailor Venus is her personal bodyguard. And Sailor Venus's only mission is to protect the fucking princess, to the point where she's impersonating being the princess for the longest time in order to draw enemies away. In reality, it's because Sailor V came out as a series first. That was what was created. And then Sailor Moon, the series, became more popular. So they incorporated that character of Sailor V into the Sailor Moon storyline. But what it ended up being is Sailor Venus is the first one that was awakened. She's looking for the Imperium Crystal to try to set things right, protect the princess. Once they find the prince, and that's even why she looks similar to her with the long blonde hair, because Earth, the moon is connected to planet Earth, and Venus are similar. That's why they look so alike. She's also meant to take the place of the princess, die if necessary, protecting her. And she is so fucking about it. She's like, don't you worry about shit. I've been looking for you for a long time. Now that we found you, we got you. Don't even worry about it. Like, it's such a fucking epic story. And I think that when we were kids in the 90s, especially because they skipped some episodes, they made some creative edits for our sensibilities here in America. So we didn't get the full impact of it. It really just seemed like a shiny, sparkly, pastel, magical girl adventure, and it is. But it's so fucking hardcore. These girls are out there fucking fighting. There's a reason why they say that Sailor Moon is so powerful and can take anybody, especially Goku. Goku would be light work. Like, she's incredibly powerful, and her power is like literally, before it became a joke and whatever, her power is rooted in love. She's fucking unstoppable, and it's really dope to see that. Like, Sailor Moon is the fucking purest. She's flawed. She eats all the time. She's a fucking crybaby. She doesn't want to fight a lot because it's not what she's just trying to be normal. Like, there are so many things to relate to when it comes to Sailor Moon that you would not expect from that anime. And I highly recommend that people get into it, especially the Crystal version that was released a few years ago, because they took the manga and they were just like, let's just give you the meat and potatoes of this. These other side fucking dishes can go. The 90s anime, lots of filler, so much filler. All that wasn't in the manga. That was a lot. So, but it just gets it to you straight. We're fighting. We're going in space. Souls are being lost. We're going back in time. There are silent death screams, lesbians, trans. Like, we're all here, allies. Like, it's all over the place anime, and it's great. And I highly recommend it.
So I have because now I just heard what I needed to hear. So I want to know where I find the Crystal version. So I can just jump past all of the glitters and the glam and all of that, right to the good stuff.
The good stuff. You're still gonna get the glitters. They did.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. The last place I checked, it was on Hulu.
Yeah, I think it's still on Hulu.
Yes.
And
that's the version you want to watch, Sailor Moon Crystal. They did redub the Deke version, like the one that we grew up with. So if you want to watch the 90s version, they redub the voices so you won't get the classic voices, but you can take a look at that anime. Sailor Moon Crystal is going to get you where you need to go. And they are releasing movies, and like the big events happen in the movies. I know I just talked a lot, but like Sailor Moon has always been that for me. Like the story is crazy when you get into it.
Yeah, you radiate when you start talking about it. He was like,
"Oh, I promise, don't blame me. I'm not asleep. It's Saturday morning. I've been up since 6 o'clock."
Don't forget she on the West Coast. She 3 hours behind. Which would explain, because I could swear, and I ain't trying to start no shit, but I could swear she just said that Sailor Moon would like make lightweight of Goku.
Yep.
Yeah, she did say that.
Yeah,
it's very true.
But she also said that the same said person, they're powered by love.
Yeah. I totally said that. Both of those things are true. You seem confused for some reason.
You ever heard this?
I'm not understanding how. I don't know. Look, I don't know Sailor Moon, so I can't speak as strength. I'm trying to like do the math in my head, but Goku ain't got no love-based power. You know what I'm saying?
That's you're kind of right, but nah, that he does have a love.
He thrives on love, but if he ain't getting no love, he doesn't lose his powers.
Well, no, you're right. He doesn't. Yeah, he can.
Are you saying that Sailor Moon? I'm trying to understand her. You know, I don't want to look. I don't got no cash in the register. I don't want no problems. I don't. Please. I didn't come. I'm unarmed. All right. I did not come for war.
No. Yeah. I'm trying to understand. It's not like she rolls up to the enemies and she's like, "Hey, let's talk about this." It's not like that. No, she has these incredible like attacks, like power moves, and they are fueled from the crystals of her people. Like they're fueled by these different like weapons and things, but at the heart of it, it's her desire to succeed. It's her desire to help. It's her spirit and willingness to sacrifice herself that ends up giving her the power she needs to do these attacks.
Oh, that sounds like a spirit bomb to me, man.
That
absolutely sounds like a spirit bomb.
Well, but I'm not the one that said that Goku didn't have a love-based or spirit-based power. I'm not saying that Goku is not coming with his own power. It's been well debated and documented. Sailor Moon would body him very easily.
And speaking of that video, I'll put it in the private chat right now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Chris Dillon.
Oh wait,
Chris Dillon, you son of a bitch.
This is it. This is dude. He's breaking down. Oh, okay, yeah. He's got his whole version of why of how it is.
Why would Goku get washed?
This is just such a classic debate. Like, but Sailor Moon is unstoppable. She is the cosmos. If she was in the MCU, if she was in Marvel, she would be an Omega level mutant. Like, she's ridiculous, and they made her that powerful.
Damn.
So
I am not joking. I'm not joking.
All right. I'm not trying to.
Saw her fling the little tiara in the 90s, and that was her little intro move. Sis been in the dojo. She's the galaxy. She, in one of her forms, sends herself back to her past self as her own daughter.
Whoa.
There's time travel involved in this shit. There's time travel.
Okay,
It-
Goku
it-
can
it's
time travel.
crazy.
Hold up, time out. Because my brain is over here like
Yeah, I'm
doing this.
It's a lot.
Did you just say
Yes.
she sent herself
Mm-hmm.
back in time
Yes.
as her own daughter?
Yes.
As Chibi Usagi.
I thought I heard that.
As
That. How is that possible?
There's small lady. There was Rini or Chibi Usa. So there's that. That's not her. Then there was Chibi Chibi, who they called that because she could only say Chibi Chibi, and she's the one. If you've ever seen the artwork, there's the one with the cotton candy hair with the cones. That's what she's sometimes a Sailor Scout as well. There's a younger one, and she has heart buns and with a little curly cues. That's her second daughter, but that ended up not being her second daughter. It was a form of herself from the future that went back to the past to encourage her past self and keep herself on the path to not make a specific decision that ruins the future. Like, that's the power this bitch has. Like, to go keep an eye on herself in the past and be like, hey, madam, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to get back out there and fight this fight and not let that person get away because it's going to fuck up the future. Good. We're back on the right track. Let's go. Like, but the series gets all over the place.
So Tiffy, does she have a man?
My bitch has several.
Oh,
Several.
Hello.
Some of them
several.
So she starts
You
off
deserve
with,
more boyfriends.
yes, I'm all for
Come on,
the
Jean Grey.
polycule. That is the dream. So
Oh.
she does not have a polycule, but it's like a kind of a
Hera?
there maybe a harem. There's a lot of people that have loved her. Endymion, the person that you see Tuxedo Mask, useless ass. He's the one that starts out, then there's Seiya from the Starlight, Sailor Starfighter. And they're interesting because they start off as male, and when they transform, they turn into female warriors, which is crazy. But one of them has a serious crush on her. She had a moment with Sailor Uranus as well, but Sailor Uranus is very much in love with Sailor Neptune, and they are a couple. They tried to play us when we were kids and tell us that they were cousins. We were like, why are these cousins holding hands? That's weird. Like, so she yeah. She's loyal to Endymion, but she definitely has her journey of like exploring love. She starts out as a teenager, and I think by the time she gets to her most powerful form, she's like 22, and that's when she stops aging, and then she remains the queen for like millennia. So
you got me. I'm gonna watch this Crystal quiz me next week. Quiz me next
he's
week.
gonna be a Sailor Moon expert. He'd be like, yeah, so that was crazy when
Yo, you take Sailor Moon, I'll take.
I'm so sorry, and this is the last thing I'll say, because mom stuff gets me especially. It's why I don't rewatch Land Before Time. Like, because when Littlefoot's going to get his mom's down.
No.
But there's this moment, like, nigga, don't you ever fucking walk into my space again. You walked in here so fucking, you make me so angry.
Oh wait, what's going on?
It's bro.
It's
Oh,
bro.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
I'm talking about
I like
Sailor Moon.
he look. I
So,
don't know,
like,
man.
the most heartbreaking part in Sailor Moon is when she's able to go to the moon and kind of ask, like, hey, we're trying to find answers. Like, what the fuck is going on? Her mom left her last bit of magic and memory for them to access once they got there. And so her mom's spirit sees her. She's like, oh my God, you're beautiful. You went to Earth. I'm gonna cry. She's like, you went to Earth. I'm so happy to see that you're thriving. And she tells the story of how she literally on her deathbed sent her daughter's spirit away to give her a chance at another life. If that shit don't get you, I'm really for real fighting tears over here, because like mom stuff gets me, and this show has so much.
Ninja roll.
Yo, that's what's up. I'm definitely gonna check this out though.
He said ninja roll, then ran away.
Oh man, I like Michael. Michael's got. We got to get him his own spot on here every now and then. But yo, man, I see the allure. Allure. Omar, you seem to stand by everything said here.
Yeah.
I mean, of course. Y'all obviously have never disagreed on anything, as far as I've seen.
That's not true. We disagree on things.
We disagree on a lot of things.
Oh,
Especially Scott Summers, but we eventually see the light.
That's one. Okay, so name something besides Scott Summers.
What's the problem with Scott Summers?
He fucking breathes. No, that's how.
What?
That's how I used to feel about Scott Summers. And in the 2 years that Omar and I have become friends, I have since changed teams. So I'ma still laugh at Scott at certain situations, but for a while I was not a Scott Summers fan, but I was uneducated about him. I didn't know. Omar helped me see the light. So, but other than that, what have we just many things? What else?
The naming of things.
Okay.
Which is fine. I'm not airing Green. I didn't say it was bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying we do. There are things we disagree on, and I'm like, there might be a writer's room, there's certain things, which is fine.
Yeah. Because Omar, we help each other with content.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's just like, it's not bad.
Is you really going in about Black women with white names, and I took that personally. My name is Tiffany. Like, how am I supposed to feel?
My only instance, I was like, if you got a chance, because I will tell the story then. It stems from this. One time I was overseas and there was a giraffe. I went on a safari, right? And I was like, Gary the giraffe over here. And the person I was with at the time was like, why does that have to have a Western name? And she's South African. And I'm like, motherfucker, I don't know any of y'all's natives fucking names and shit. I am from the West. So after that, whenever I did fucking Gary over here, whenever I did jokes like that or do like a story naming someone, I'd always look up Middle Eastern names and more non-traditional Westernized names. So I was just saying, you've already got a certain character's name, certain things. You can add a character name that is not West. That's all I was saying. And Tiffany's like, my name is what? I'm like, I'm not saying it. I am talking of the character, not you.
Even on my most angry days, and we can go back and check the clips, I've never banged my chest and yelled.
Let me redo it.
Check yourself before you describe a Black woman responding that way. Maybe you want to check the optics on that one, homie.
I'll redo it.
Yeah.
Let me go back.
I had to go for real.
I'll go back. Then Tiffy said, and then Tiffy said, but my name is.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you. And that was the appropriate energy because it wasn't as much of a stretch. He was going in specifically about Black women with white names, and I'm just like, hello.
Characters is a character. I'm speaking of the same character.
Why would I name one of these characters like a South African name or whatever? When
I didn't say South African. I was saying
or whatever.
Now we out here fighting in public.
You wanted to name her Amethyst. That's not even like
because of the character.
You know whose name is Amethyst? Iggy Azalea's real name is Amethyst. Omar.
Amethyst? What the fuck?
But because of what I won't spoil what the character is because of the character's profession, like the way you portrayed them, it looks very earthy and whatnot. So this perhaps would be a good earthy name for this character. But also, I just suggest. I'm like, there's a note. I'm like, all right, I dropped it.
You paint a picture because there are people watching. I only suggest.
Because did I not say that at the end when I apologized?
Wrongly several times. I think Veronica is a great name.
Oh, she's out. Dang, you gonna put her out there? Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, Veronica, is a name. It's
I was
great.
like Veronica and Betty, Veronica Mars. I was like, all right. You got. There's. I'm like, there's strong people behind that. All right.
Ooh.
Amethyst is a whole ass crystal gem.
There was another name too. There's another name you went with as well.
What was the other name?
I'd rather not say on here for. Aubergine.
All right. Yo, I don't know if
Aubergine.
I love the way this is. Okay, all right.
You see, now
we'll fix
it. It's an eggplant, Omar.
I understand that, but I would just say it would.
Why would I name my character Dick?
I got a story about that as well, but I'm just
Let's hear this story about Dick.
Different names.
Big story.
So back when, it's not a known story. So back when live tweeting was a thing, right? So I'll pivot from this. Back when live tweeting was a thing, and okay, so for live tweeting a show, you want to come up with a hashtag and stuff like that, right? Your own you're making the Black hashtag. Cool. And so Game of Thrones was Dem Thrones. The Flash was Dat Flash. And so Will, my partner in crime, he's like, I'm tired of, we're better to do than just them, dat, and dis. We can do, let's make it something let's make it actually punny, right? So True Detective season 2, which was horrible, by the way. So that I was live tweeting that.
Terrible.
I was live tweeting that, and so I'm trying to come up with a hashtag, right? Will is a lot better at hashtags than I am, and so they're corrupt cops. I need to just follow my logic. They're corrupt cops, all right. And so Dick Tracy was a detective. You know what I'm saying? A dirty cop, and so. And I'm like, I go to Will. I'm like, only thing I can think of is Dirty Dick. That's what I correct cop, Dirty Dick. And then Will's like, Jesus. And then it was maybe like 6 seconds. It was like 6 seconds, and he goes, this is just, mind you, we're just talking through chat, but I can see him just going, what about True Sleuth? And then True Sleuth, because sleuth was another term for detective, and True Detective, True Sleuth. And he said it, and I was just like, look, I'm gifted in other ways. All right. I get in other ways. I get from A to C one way sometimes, but I can get there in another way. So that was another reason why I tried to think.
Nah, man, I fucks with Slick Dick though.
Not Slick Dick, Dirty Dick.
Dirty Dick. Oh, okay. Private Dick.
He was like, Omar, man, that was like, but was why I came to you first. I came to you first.
Dirty Dick. But it could be like in code, like Dirty Richard. You know what I'm saying? And then Dirty Richard. In the back of your head that the nickname is Dick. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I guess you and Dick's not really diving too well right now. That's not really why. And I guess Tiffy didn't.
Omar almost never disagree on stuff. Super rare.
It's very rare. It's very rare.
Oh yeah, clearly because your affinity towards Sailor Moon is seems to be on par as well. So Omar, the original question was, you stand by everything she's saying about?
Yes.
I mean, as a man, you watched it. Talk to the dudes out there as to those who would say I wouldn't watch it because I feel like it's a girl show. Like, why they're wrong about it.
Soft ass niggas. What you being? That's bitch nigga shit for. You ain't trying to see women do fashion. You ain't trying to see magical transformations, motherfuckers. You the same motherfuckers that be like, oh, I wouldn't do that. My sister's a girl. My mom's gonna fuck all that shit, man. Come get this fashion, nigga. Come get this fashion. This is 90s, B. 90s aesthetics, motherfuckers. Yep. Come see some magical dual transformations, motherfuckers. You might learn how to actually talk to women. The motherfuckers that know how to talk to goddamn women. Or you might just see some fucking fists being thrown with some magical shit, motherfucker. Step it up. Step it up. We all can't be ninjas. We all can't be pirates. Let's see how these girls get it in fucking kitten heels, nigga. You know how hard you gotta be to fight in kitten heels? Kitten heels, motherfucker.
Yo,
I only ever saw church ushers fighting in kitten heels. It's crazy out here. That's all
I feel threatened to watch it now. I definitely will. What's up, Ty? Yo.
I just want to translate. I want to translate to all the street niggas out here.
There
right?
you go.
All right. So what he's saying is, there's lesbians on the show.
I didn't.
And I'm just putting it out there for street niggas, because at the end of the day, sex sells, and
they're teenagers.
Listen.
Oh, be careful.
To the teenage boys. This is going like at the end.
Let's cut this off before it goes any further. I'ma save us all right now. Because the internet lives forever.
You're right. I'm not gonna say it. All right. But at the end of the day, everything that Tiffy said that like literally jumped out at me when she started talking about the powers and the fact that she's stronger than Goku. If you listen, you say that. And to most cats that watch Dragon Ball Z or have even if you haven't watched it, you know who Goku is. And if you don't know who Goku is, then
Goku is.
Yeah, everybody know who Goku is. So once she said that he's smashing Goku. Yeah, like that's it. Like, bro, hold up. I gotta go tune in to see what this smashing power is about. Let me see this. Then I can come back and be like, yo.
I got a question. So it's moving away because Ty, you seem like someone that you say you appreciate like martial arts and shit like that, like intricate fights. Then who is everybody's favorite fictional fighter? Like not just like not like, oh, I'm blasting you with the power and shit like that. No. Like they have hands. Like who's favorite? Who's
Oh,
like who's your favorite? Like
Ooh.
a fighter. Like I like to watch them because I know this fight will be like an interesting like fight. Not like even if it's like all right, yeah, power to it, but like not like oh I'm blasting you from far away. And she's like no, we're in there. I'm doing blocks and shit. I'm like ripping your throat. Like who is your like who's everyone's favorite like fighter like that? Like y'all believe like I back this person as like the fighter in fiction.
Tiffy, please, and let us know.
Chun-Li. It for me, it has to be Chun-Li. Like it just instantly, she got them fucking hands, and for me, she got the thighs to match. She was like, I'm gonna kick you. You're not gonna. I'm gonna fuck you up so good. You don't know what's about to happen, and my thighs will show every motherfucker I pass on these streets exactly what the fuck I can do. And the scene in the Street Fighter animated movie when Vega breaks into her apartment like a weirdo, and she first of all picks up her couch over her head to throw at this man, and then kicks him through a brick wall and kills that man. Oh my god. Chun-Li, 100%.
Chun-Li.
100%.
All right.
Oh my, that was.
I actually think that's a good one. Oh shoot, we're all out of order. But one of us has to go real quick. I wanted to say peace to Nolly. Nolly's got to go celebrate graduation.
Tell us your fighter before you go. Tell us your fighter before you go.
Yeah, who's your fighter before you go?
Fuck. No, my brain farting. Sorry, I took the edible. So originally the mountain was supposed to go help set up the party, but then they texted him and was like, "Nah, you be her designated driver, so she don't have to drive herself." And so I took the edible.
All right.
But you know,
and also you look real pretty.
It was great.
Hey, as usual. All right. Well, you know what? We won't put you on the spot then. We don't want you to have to think.
Is her favorite fighter.
Think and exist at the same time. That would not be. Listen, go to your point. If you happen to think of anything, throw it in the chat for us. You know what I'm saying? Let us know. Yeah. So you know you added. But one more time, congrats to you on your graduation again, man. Look, big up to Nolly, the Molly Whopper, as I call her. The fan person fighter. We already got a fanboy fighter out there. So the person, the comment legend, the sword, the ghost of the comment section. One time for Nolly, man. We appreciate you. So enjoy that. I'll go ahead and give it a soft out. We'll go ahead and move over this way a little bit. And then we'll see if now it's so fascinating you say that, because for some reason, my mind is taking me one place, but my heart's taking me another place. My mind is taking me to the world of Star Wars. All right. And I feel like I know y'all ain't into Star Wars, but Darth Maul's fighting technique was so crazy when he came on the screen with the dual lightsaber and shit. And this motherfucker's like wheeling and using the force at the same time. We didn't see that a whole bunch. So for me, like that's where my mind keeps going for some strange reason.
But what if he doesn't have it? Like what if
that sounds it? That sounds more swordsman to me. That sounds more swordsman.
What? Yeah, that sounds like a weapon. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. The other one, unfortunately, because I don't think anybody else saw this, I referenced this earlier, is Jotaro in JoJo's Adventure.
Tell me why.
With the stand that this motherfucker, like, first of all, like he's star platinum, right? So like when he comes out, like this motherfucker goes to work, like, and he does not like some stands like do shit automatically. His shit still has to fight. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes out, it doesn't just automatically, do like Dio slows, like stops time and shit. So that's almost cheating. But with freaking Jotaro, this motherfucker's stand comes out and just starts yabba, like having to like fuck you up and shit. And I think that sticks out in my head as one of like the coldest fighters. Now I'm sure we could go down a list, but those two come automatically to my head for some reason, man. I don't know, but that's a phenomenal question, man. Holy shit! And Chun-Li. Yeah, what about you, Ty?
I would have to say Jiren from Dragon Ball Z is a complete fighter. And also, man, I gotta go One Punch Man, man. I like if you look at absolutely. When you look at if you look at season 1 and season 2, like especially in season 2, and like the first episode or second episode, like he's basically got people all trying to fight him, like trying to get to him and fight him.
That scene.
And there's the one dude that he trains that like trains up under him, that like always tries to like creep him and like catch him off guard, and he never does. Like he always like, but it's everything. Like if you watch season 2, if you haven't seen season 2 by now, if you watch season 2, the fight scenes are way more intense in season 2 than they were in season 1. And so you get to see, and you get to see, because again, One Punch Man is one of those dudes that's just he doesn't really want to fight anybody. He doesn't really. He's really bored with everybody. So it's hard to get a good fight out of him. But if you can get a good fight out of him, he's one of the more entertaining fighters to watch. When it as it pertains to power levels and everything like that, and fighting and everything like that. But Jiren, I would put Jiren up there. I know people are like, well, why didn't you say Goku? Because Jiren's a bad motherfucker. Yeah, that's why.
Gave Goku a problem. Had to team up to beat that man.
Let me step back and join the ranks of Tiffy real quick and jump into the video game sphere. I would also like to nominate Liu Kang, excuse me, as well as Shang Tsung. Now Shang Tsung, I know that's a cop out because he doesn't really, he just got the fight. He just morphs into everybody and shit. But Liu Kang, man, this bitch, when you was doing the goddamn Mortal Kombat, bitch, bitch, motherfucker, you can't fuck with me, bro. Fuck with me. I wonder, like Liu Kang and Chun-Li, who's got the fastest feet? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Chun-Li's got the yup, and Liu Kang's got the. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't even think of this. You know who everybody talks about? Well, not necessarily right now, but was talking about just like a few years ago. My man, IP Man. IP Man. Itman. Yo, like if you saw Itman, the first one, that dude, woo! Yo, the fight scenes in Itman was
Donnie
crazy.
Yen.
Donnie Yen was killing that shit.
He was also in Blade. He was in Blade 2. Yeah. He was in Blade 2, and he's
also in John Wick.
Yep. Yeah, I still have to see that. I'm a big Donnie Yen fan.
And he, if I'm not mistaken, he was in in Rogue One, right?
Yes, as the blind,
yeah. I'm one with the Force is with me and shit. Yeah, so I fucks with my man, but I don't know, man. I'm saying Luke Cage, Eddie Gordo. I got into a little bit of a spat this week.
Oh, we're talking about this.
Of the new, Kimberly and these unbeatable moves that they give these Jamaicans. Like there's no way that you can hop over that many breakdance moves and shit. Like Street Fighter is given the handicap heavily in favor of the Caribbean, and I'm not mad at it, but I hate playing against it. Paul can't do shit.
You don't like fighting against Kimberly in Street Fighter 6?
I don't like anybody that's combo is longer than a paragraph. Like if the time is running out. If all you gotta do is hit one button over and over, and you just and you handstand it, and you doing it, and you taking out my feet, like it's like calm the fuck down. Like I don't got time. I can't get jiggy with this shit.
Who was the character? Who was the character that switched styles? Is that Lee?
Lei Wulong.
Lei
Wulong. Tekken, right?
Yeah, the one that switched up all the styles.
Oh yeah, I love him.
Lei Wulong.
Yo, if you knew how to switch styles, he would have a combo that wouldn't end because you would switch styles and go straight into the next combo move. Yo, he was real hard for me too, yo. Like, if you fought up against people who really knew how to use them to switch styles, Crane and Snake and all of the little styles
that was me. Yeah. I fuck with Lei Wulong arcade edition at that. So I had the 4 buttons, not 6. You know what I'm saying? We're fucking playing with the 2 down, the 2 top. But still, Eddie Wulong, I gotta them two. We gotta they ain't even allowed to be in tournaments if you come to like because like they're cheat. Like you can't do shit against them. You know what I'm saying? That you want to come in.
I'm like, hold up, y'all talking about
see the link. What's up? I'll see the link. Minnie, you should have been in here anyway. But yeah, now stepping outside of that, I would probably say, nah, I don't know. I like Scorpion and Sub-Zero and shit, but it's power based. So if we're talking just fighting, then yeah, I guess that is a little different, man. I don't know. That that question.
Are we talking about power base? Or are we talking about just fighting style?
I meant just fight the style of fight.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were talking
about.
about.
They got a power fight, but like I don't even use my like hands, like I straight up hands.
Because I mean, when I used to play like Mortal Kombat, man. First of all, Mortal Kombat 2 was for me, I think, when it peaked. Mortal Kombat 3, it started. It was like, all right, we get it. A lot of combos, boom, 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 boom. And then it started getting to the point where I don't know. I mean, I don't play it as much as I used to, but I used to love being able to back kick a motherfucker, jump in my way, uppercut a motherfucker, come in my way. You know what I'm saying? Uppercut a motherfucker, proof, come here with their ass, boy, hit him with the whole combo and shit. But then it got to like Marvel superhero level where like you can't play somebody online. If they get the first hit, then you may as well just wait until the next round. You know what I'm saying? Because like once they get one lick, it's like I play with Spider-Man online. And
you
that's
might like Samurai Showdown because then you can't. There's no like combos in it. It's all like chest based. Like, all right, do I attack with a heavy or a light with a more swordsman based?
Yeah, and I don't even know if you parry when it comes to that kind of stuff.
You got and they have parrying in Street Fighter 6 now as well.
They got parrying in Street Fighter 6. How you doing on there, Tiffany?
She knows. I'm
I see you on there too, man. Y'all got me wanting to. Should I jump on there, man? I'm gonna go ahead and jump on there, man. But I was waiting to hear how badly. What, Tiffy?
Because she's mad because she was in a certain mode, and then she switched over. She was in a modern mode, which it's a modern mode it helps you adapt easier for beginners. But she's not a beginner. So then she realized she can switch over to classic mode, and classic gives you all 6 buttons. So now she's having to relearn. She's relearning that.
And it's so hard. And I thought it's like thinking you're doing a good job at something, and then you look and it's on easy mode, and it was on easy mode, and I was very proud of myself.
You're fighting with half. If anything, it's not that easy because you're fighting with half on modern. You don't have all your moves. Now you have everything.
It's hard, and it's hard for my fingers to do the buttons.
You gotta get used to the motion. It's just the motion because it's just the motion.
So like my stream last night was like me just like moves. Oh yeah, it's just me grunting over and over again, like because I have to relearn it. But it's the same struggles I had as a kid playing against my brother, and it's very frustrating. I'm like, how am I still not good at this shit, man? Like, but I'd rather do it the harder way. Like the modern mode makes it a lot easier rather than having it's a million times easier to do combos and shit and to do like special moves. But I'd rather do it the classic way. So I'm choosing the harder path, but it's just like the game is slightly less. Yeah, and it's because of you.
You're goddamn right it is. That is the whole way we do. Oh, this path is easy. No, let me make things harder for my fucking self. On
that stream, and because I'm like, which mode? We're gonna go for this one because it's what Omar would want. Exactly. But like, and now I'm like, why'd I do that? I don't even like that nigga that much. But like,
you can do it. Do you have a favorite character yet?
Yeah.
Chun-Li still.
Chun-Li, but I mean, I'm really loving Kimberly, and I played a little bit of like I love her. When I got to fight her with her in the regular just like arcade mode of the game, I fell in love. I'm like, oh, she's definitely, and this is before you confirmed it. I'm like, she feels like she's supposed to be like the new Chun-Li, and that's when you said, she is this generation's Chun-Li, but she has that energy. She's cute, she's bubbly. It feels like they matured and calmed down Chun-Li, so she's not like the jumping she's not that anymore. Like she's more mature. She's like, I don't kick everybody's ass. Do it again if I need to, but I'm chilling. That's Chun-Li. So Kimberly comes in with all this energy and color and like just I hate saying this flavor, but like
why you hate saying that?
I just don't like it. But that is what she brings, and it's really cute. I have not yet met her in like the build your world version.
You're a bit away from there. But when I saw her, the run-ins with Kimberly are incredible. And for those that don't know, Kimberly's a throwback. She's a successor to Chun-Li, but she is also a successor in the Bushin Ryu style, which was made infamous by Guy from Final Fight. Guy from Final Fight is her master, and you'll see her training. I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but like they reference it, her training with him as well. And I won't spoil that part, but like she's trained with Guy. She is now she's the 39th successor of that fighting style. And so how often have you ever seen like a black, especially like you've seen black men like like Michael J. White and whatnot in these positions and whatnot, but like maybe not so much in like video game characters, but then to see a black woman very, very colorful black woman using fucking ninja paint, using graffiti cans, aerosol cans as ninja stars, using the mist of it to explode a can, so she disappears and mist and shit. When have you ever seen like a black woman taking over like a mantle in a sense? Like, she is Guy's successor. She is the master of this. And Kimberly got so much praise, and I was like, man, she's playing kind of stiff with me. When I was playing her, she's kind of stiff for me to use, which I got used to later on. But there's a motherfucker there that they did not tell me about, Jamie Sue, and he's the cousin of the Yun and Yang from the Third Strike. And this motherfucker does drunken fist, and this motherfucker's a b-boy. So you got an Asian fucking b-boy that fucking takes the drink and then gets wild, and his hair's tied up. But when you get a certain number of drinks, that shit comes off, and he looks like Xu Long. He's like, his hair's all wild, and he gets red, and he's just, I'm like, I always love you don't ever see the drunken fist that much. And I'm like, this character's here, and he's a fucking b-boy too, and his kicks like he top rocks like a b-boy. I'm like, I have to learn this man. I gotta master this man because I love this man. So Kimberly and Jamie are like, they're my two favorite right now. And my character's an amalgam between the two of their styles too. So I'm like, this is all I've ever wanted. All I've ever wanted.
Let me let my man Minnie, it was getting set up in the background. I don't know if y'all have met Minnie yet, but Minnie's a day one comic collector extraordinaire, also stand-up comedian, and part-time crisscross Miggity Mac impersonator with this hairstyle we got going on. What's going on, homeboy? Hey, what's going on?
What it do? The Mac will make you jump. Miggity Mac will make you jump.
But yeah, what's going on, Minnie?
I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to hold on to the last little bit of hair I got. Let me live.
Well, let me do formal introductions because I know they haven't met you on screen yet. But Minnie, this is Omar, Tiffy. It's Tiffy, not Tiffany, not Tiff. It's Tiffy. Get it right. We fight. You already know Ty. But yeah, Minnie. Not only he worked with me closely down here in the Orlando community on the comedy stuff, but is an avid comic collector. Like every week, if I'm not mistaken, at Acme, right? Every week at Acme. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's definitely got a lot of things. He would be on with us more, but he works during our broadcast. So now that he's
don't snitch me out. I still got a corporate job.
Oh my bad. So but you had some comments on the whole fighter subject, man. He was in the comment section. You were saying something?
Yes. First of all, I would like to say hi to the members that I hadn't met before. Thank y'all for doing this show. Tiffy, you have been a blessing in disguise. The things you say that come out your mouth, girl, I'll be waiting to see what's next. Sometimes I know what's coming. Sometimes I have no clue, but I enjoy it every time. So yeah, for real. And my man over here, you so knowledgeable with your comic book stuff and your nerdy stuff. I'm talking about you pull it out of the pocket as soon as somebody messes up. Hey, you know, in Wakanda number 38, he walked to the left. You was like, wait a minute, how the hell he noticed he walked to the left? So for real, like Omar and Tiffy, like I love this show and I love the people in it. And without even knowing you guys, I will extend all my love to you guys because you guys not only fit into this show perfectly, but it's just the way you are. That's a blurred right there. That's every incident. So I like to start off with that. When it comes to the games, oh my God, what a time to be alive.
Yes.
We have a Mortal Kombat 1 coming out, a reframe of the whole work. And then we have a Street Fighter as well. All the Street Fighter characters from the original have been honed a little better. They all work a little better. They all have a little extra oomph to them, but you didn't lose their flair. Like he was saying, you got a black girl out here whooping ass with some spray cans, and she's a boss.
Yes,
she really is. And she might be a little intricate to work with if you don't know, but she is a boss. I can't remember the dude's name. He's Jamie way better at that than me. Yes. Ooh. But when I see him up rock, yes. If you're a B-boy from back in the days, and you know what I'm saying, you got that you was like, oh, my man was getting it. So, man, listen, they did us right. You know what I'm saying? They did us right. If you're a Street Fighter fan from the way back, you're gonna enjoy it. If you're a brand new Street Fighter fan, you're gonna enjoy it. Okay. There's not much to hate on. The framework is beautiful. It is. He's still kind of, even if you know, because you're a Street Fighter fan, where this is gonna end and this is gonna start. You still kind of have to guess on this one because it's not the same time at 1, 2, 3 hot. 1, 2, 3 hot. You have to get with it. You have to learn it. You're gonna have to learn. It's gonna be a learning curve. You're gonna get in there. There's some new moves that they have that will break some of the shit that you thought you had, and it's not gonna work like it used to. So it's a beautiful thing.
So let me. So if I'm using Ryu, which I'm assuming he's still in the game, I haven't gotten it yet. I'm probably gonna go ahead and get it.
Now.
Yeah.
He's Dominican now.
He's like Dominican tan now. Why you been on the beaches?
Dominican.
Boy, look a little different. I tell you that. I was looking for the poppy sandals on him.
Yeah.
But like those are poppy sandals. Those are pop. I recognize poppy sandals.
So it's not down, forward for the Hadouken no more. It's different. It's not. It's no longer hold down and then up and then kick for the Toxmoxing Qualkit. I mean, what is it not forward, down, forward for the
same motion.
It's just a flare different. It might the actual imagery might be different. The framework might be different. If you used to it taking this many frames, it's not going to. It has switched, so you have to switch up your game. So if that was what you use it for, creative space, now you have to think about it a little different. You see what I'm saying? Because there's charge ups, there's run ups, there's the different things that they can do to kind of negate what you think you about to do. If you're about to use the old school without having to learn the new school. Mm-hmm. So I love it, man. I'm so in love with Street Fighter. I'm so in love with Mortal Kombat 2, even though I've only been playing that little trial thing that they got going on. And my God, boy, I'm trying to tell you, when it comes to these tags and this time and stuff and all these new moves, it's a great time to be alive when it comes to a fighting game. Seriously, for real. If you're a video game fighting fan right now, I don't know how you go to work. I don't know how you're doing anything.
Well, I mean, I beat Star Wars not too long ago, and I still ain't messed with God of War, but I saw this new Star Wars joint that's supposed to be coming out, the open world joint. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll probably start rapping here pretty soon. I just had one thing to say before we close everything up. First of all, thanks for joining in at the last minute, real quick, Minnie. I've been wanting to get you in here to chat about some of this stuff. Hopefully you can come more often. But I have to big this up to everybody that's here before y'all go, because everybody in here has their own influence. So it'd be amidst myself if I did not give at least a shout to this I'm a Virgo movie. I don't know. I mean, show. I don't know if y'all have seen it, heard about it. If y'all have not looked at it at all, I'm just asking you to give it a chance. Is it perfect? Of course not. But we're dealing with supernatural shit going on in an all-black cast on a show that is I mean, I don't want to just call it black. I'm going to call it hood. You know what I'm saying? Because, basically, if I could give you the premise without giving away the plot, because everything I'm about to tell you happens within the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie. So you could call it spoiling if I guess, but I mean, I consider spoiling more giving away things that make the plot move along. The dude is a giant. You know what I'm saying? He's a freaking real-ass giant, but he's hidden. His people keep him hidden because they don't want him to go through the usual bullshit of society, right? But at some point he gets out. And the very first thing he does is hit the weed with some dudes from the shop, and the dudes take him out, and he's joyriding, and he straight Tokyo drifts the box Chevy that they're in and shit. The dude has a crush on this chick who we also learn may have some powers, that works at the local burger joint. And these are all black characters, not ambiguously black, probably black characters. And Mike Epps is in it, and it's so perfect because it's one of the first times you see Mike Epps with guns. You know what I'm saying? He goes, yeah. He has the same humor. He's still Day-Day. He's still Day-Day.
He was in Resident Evil.
I know that shit.
Resident Evil. We don't talk about that though. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that. But in this, now I haven't even watched it all. And I'm not gonna. It's not an action-based flick. So if you're looking for something for a bunch of fighting and action and all that, that's not what this is. This is a drama that involves science fiction shit that's happening to a black youth in current day America that already has to deal black people with the type of bullshit that we deal with. Now add on top of that, you're a freaking giant, and just imagine what you end up with. And in the midst, he's a teenager. So he's got teenage emotions. He has a crush on a girl, but he's 13 feet tall. And as soon as he gets outside, of course, there's a lot of women on the block what's up with that dick? They screaming at her let me see that dick. He's like, what are you talking about? He's a teenage boy, you know what I'm saying? And he's 13 feet tall, so the girls on the block, they're like, yo, we trying to see what that dick. It's crazy. So I'm just trying to give it, I just want to give it some push out there because I want this project to work. And
what platform is it on?
It's on Amazon or your Fire Stick. Look, I give out my code. I don't give a fuck. Amazon is not Netflix. You can have mine. Hit me up on the low ski. I'll give it up to the broskies. Make it happen, bro. I have no problem. I have no problem. I'm dead ass. I'll pay for it. Watch that shit. And we could even, on that platform, I think we could even do watch parties. So let that be. I want to get that out there right quick.
Hit me up on the give it out to the broskies.
Cameron would have walked out at that point. Cameron would have been like, "That's enough. That's enough."
I muted my mic and I literally screamed.
I'm sorry.
That was funny. Wait, what was the thing that Omar said the other week? Wait, what was it? It was the Mitch. You're like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, you guys know that? You know what? This.
Oh, the
Mitch.
Mitch. Yeah, I know what a Mitch. Yeah, a male Mitch. Yeah, you know, like a male bitch.
Like, no, that's not.
He's online.
It's not the same thing.
She be bitching the motherfucker too. You know?
I was about to believe that.
But on that note,
man, that was so.
Oh, that's funny.
Go ahead and call it right here.
All right.
Tiffy, thank you so much for hanging out as always. Bringing what you bring, as well as Omar. Benny, appreciate you pulling up on the last minute, homeboy.
I love you, Ty. I love you, Ty.
I love you too, man. You already know what it is, bro. You already know. You already know.
Y'all check out the multiverse, and that's back on.
You already know.
And yeah, man, just we didn't. There's a few things we didn't talk about that we'll probably preach next week. We didn't talk about Craven, and whether that's going to be shit or not.
Oh Lord,
we talked about the fact that the Hunger Games has a whole new movie that people don't even know about that's coming out, which is a prequel to the other movies, and a couple other things. So we'll discuss these things at length later on. Appreciate everybody for hanging out, man. We're gonna go ahead and get these clips chopped up and put out there. And like I said, be your authentic self. If not, you being fake. And here is an outdated outro for y'all to go out.